So we're going to go out and practice with the guys who have been here and prepare to play with those guys. And Zeke's been a big part of our team. We love him. And, once he gets back here, we'll try to get him as integrated as quickly as possible. He knows our system of football. I don't think there'll be a lot of learning there. We're just focused on the guys we have right now. We're going to go practice as well as we can to prepare the right way to play the Giants.
Good morning and welcome to First Take. I'm Roz Golden-Woode, filling in for Molly Caron. Damien Woody is back again, and Max Kellerman is back. Welcome back.
Hey, everybody. I just got to start the show by saying this. Do I look like a substitute teacher to you?
What?
Yeah,
no tie. Yeah, see, if Stephen A. were here.
You do. If
like Stephen A. were here.
like a substitute teacher. Right?
You saying I'm dressed like a substitute teacher?
Yeah, you are. Oh, absolutely.
Who shops at Tom Ford?
Yeah.
If Stephen A. Smith were here, you wouldn't dare come in with an open collar.
Well, listen, I had to take the booster seat out of this chair that Stephen A. Smith had in there all the time. Like I'm sitting in a barbershop chair, man.
Stephen A., I just want you to know I don't support any of this. They were trying to get at you because they had a cushion on your seat. I don't support any of this, Damien.
Okay.
I got your back. All right, well, we had your back yesterday. We held down the fort, and today we got a show. We're going to get right to it. We opened the show with the most recent conversation around Ezekiel Elliott's holdout. This time, it was Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett who stepped up to the mic, slowing the expectations for the running back's timetable for return. It seems negotiations have stalled again, and the team is preparing to begin the season without the league's leading rusher. But check this out. According to Adam Schefter, Dallas just agreed to a 5-year extension with right tackle La'el Collins. So the Cowboys are out here paying people, guys.
On the defense, on the offensive line.
Just not Zeke. So, Damien, what should the Cowboys do with Zeke?
Well, listen, obviously the first priority is you want to sign your guy because the Cowboys are uniquely built around a running back, unlike most teams in the National Football League. But make no mistake about it in this particular situation, the Cowboys have the leverage here, okay? This is not like Le'Veon Bell with the Pittsburgh Steelers where he was under the franchise tag and he didn't sign it. Okay, he could literally sit out the whole year and get to free agency, as opposed to Ezekiel Elliott, who still has 1 year plus a 5th-year option that the Dallas Cowboys can exercise. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you're sitting back saying, okay, listen, we want to do right by you because you're a big piece of what we're trying to do, and we know that this is probably the best team that we have had since the Triplets back in the 90s. But at the same time, Jerry Jones isn't stupid, okay? Jerry Jones didn't make billions of dollars by being a stupid businessman. He understands where the leverage is in this particular situation, and the leverage is with the Dallas Cowboys, okay? Ezekiel Elliott, what all players are fighting for is getting to free agency, okay? And he knows that with Ezekiel Elliott, you're going to have to report at some point. There's no sitting out the whole season like Le'Veon Bell. You're going to have to report. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys in this particular situation, obviously you try to sign them, but you're going to wait them out. Because obviously what player's going to want to be missing game checks? That's just big bank, little bank.
He's got to be willing to do it. Look, this is not Le'Veon Bell. Let's look at the difference. Le'Veon Bell, 2nd-round pick. Zeke was top 5, 4th overall.
Right.
Le'Veon Bell didn't get his big money until later. Zeke signed a $16 million plus contract upon turning pro. It's different. However, Le'Veon Bell had more leverage because you're right. He sits out the year. He's a free agent. That was his. What recourse did he have if he wanted to get paid if they wouldn't give him guaranteed money? Ezekiel Elliott sits out the year. They can franchise him twice. Like he's 2 years out. They could make him play and then franchise him. So that leverage is different. But there's been a paradigm shift, big fella. It's not like it used to be. Let me tell you what's going on in the NFL as far as I can see it, okay? Back in the day, you could draft a running back up high because running backs was a huge position. Fantasy football still hasn't caught up to this. Fantasy football still acts like running back is the most important position. It's like my number one gripe with it, right? But it's not. It's been devalued because scarcity is an issue, and they're everywhere, right? A cornerback is scarce, hard to find a top one. Running backs are fungible. They're interchangeable. Even if Zeke gives you a bonus over what another guy gives you, you can find a couple guys to basically more or less do that job behind a good offensive line. So let me tell you what I think teams are looking at now, because suddenly they started to draft running backs way up high again. So why is that? because they realize running backs, it's not like a left tackle, which is really a skills position. It takes a couple of years to really learn it. Running backs hit the ground running, so to speak, right? Year one, they're almost as good as they'll ever be. And then you can ride them and wear them into the ground. And then you can franchise them. And then you can franchise them again. And then you tell them, well, you're 27 years old. Your bonus is based on, your guarantee money is based on what we think you're going to do. You only have a year or two of elite production anyway, so you never really have to pay them. So when people look and say, why are you drafting a running back? Because you get immense value out of them and you never really have to pay. So the agents and the running backs are looking at this now going, wait a minute. The only thing we can do is hold out. We can threaten in either if we're a year away from free agency, we could just sit out the year and save our bodies and get paid, so to force you to pay us. Or if that's not the case, if it's like Ezekiel Elliott, we can wait for a moment of high leverage. Oh, you think you're going to win the Super Bowl maybe this year, right? And you drafted me fourth, and I'm the centerpiece of your offense. Guess what? If I'm willing to simply not get on the field and miss those game checks, because he's gotten a lot of money already, he's made millions already, then Zeke has some leverage too. He's got leverage too, Damien. It's not like it used to be.
Listen, the Dallas Cowboys definitely need Zeke. There's no question about that. But again, ultimately, what's the goal of every player in the National Football when they come into the National Football League? They want to get to free agency because the second bite of the apple, that's where you hit the home run. Okay, in this particular situation, okay, again, we're not talking about Le'Veon. We're not talking about Jadeveon Clowney. Those two guys, they had unique leverage because they were on the franchise tag. You're talking about a guy in Ezekiel Elliott, again, has another year and the fifth-year option. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you know he can't get to free agency.
That's why he's not going to be the highest paid running back.
He can't get to free agency. So if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you offer him a contract. They're working towards a contract. Again, both sides, they want to get it done. But ultimately, Jerry Jones understands the economics and the CBA of this particular situation. You can't get there.
But you know,
all I have to do right now is sit back, wait you out, because guess what? Most players aren't willing to miss game checks.
Well, there are two things here.
And that's where
not wrong.
Billionaires have it over millionaires.
You're not wrong, but there are two things here. One, Zeke has made millions already. Millions. So he should have a little cushion if he wants to do it. And two, this is a unique situation. Jerry Jones ain't getting any younger.
That's correct.
I mean, Jerry Jones looks like he's starting to look, little crypt keeper-ish from back in the day. Let's be honest. He's getting up there. The point is that, and you're right, he's obviously a very smart guy. He understands his business. But if winning a Super Bowl is important to him, and if, like this happened to Steinbrenner too, George Steinbrenner, late great owner of the New York Yankees, who hit the ground running again, like was great early, free agents and everything, then went through a long fallow period, no playoffs, a long time. Then as he got older and he ceded some of the power to some people who worked for him the way Jerry has with Steven, with his son, things started getting better again because he learned some stuff. I think maybe because he saw his own mortality and thought, I want to win again. Jerry Jones is in a situation right now where the Cowboys could legit win a Super Bowl. Maybe not with this coach, but maybe this year or next year. They're in a position you never can tell, but they have all the pieces they need on the field. Does he really want to risk that? The last time his ego got in the way, and he fired Jimmy Johnson, and Barry Switzer won, but with Jimmy Johnson's players, basically, and they haven't won since then. Or can he get out of his own way and really strike while the iron's hot right now? What makes me suspicious about the Cowboys is I haven't heard anything about the guaranteed money. I hear about he'll be the second highest average annual, blah, blah, blah. What about the guarantee, man? That's really what Ezekiel Elliott wants to know. If the Cowboys even put it out there, we're going to make him the fourth highest in terms of guaranteed money, then people like you and me be like, Zeke, you're 2 years out from free agents. That's a good deal. But we haven't heard word one about that. So how important is it for Jerry Jones to win another Super Bowl? And is he willing to take the risk? If he loses some early season games, he should win without Zeke. At sacrificing this season on the altar of keeping Zeke's money down.
And you mentioned Jerry Jones's power, but what about head coach Jason Garrett? I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him. People are even saying he's on the hot seat. Should he also be campaigning to get this deal done?
Well, listen, every coach, every player, every coach, they want their guys in there.
Right? Doesn't he want his best guy out there?
Well, but you're not going to do it through the media. That's not what the coach is going to do. The coaches, everyone in the building is trained to say, you know what? It's like an injury. Our guy's just not here. You just got to play with who you got to play with. But you better believe in Jason Garrett's mind. Oh, we're a hell of a lot better with Zeke on the team than him being in Cabo right now.
All right, well, guys, we'll get back to this. We'll certainly be talking more on this topic. But coming up next, Peyton, Luck, Brissett, find out why the Colts' new starting quarterback will be the next franchise guy in Indy. All right, that is Joanna Conta in Flushing Meadows as coverage of the U.S. Open continues right after us at noon Eastern here on ESPN.